The next exercise that we're going to look at is the strike and fly out exercise. This is very similar to the doubling exercise from our regimental broadsword system. This exercise is a lot of fun to do, and it closely resembles free fencing, although it isn't quite. However, I do want you to remember that it doesn't really represent a realistic situation. All of the other exercises, somebody comes at you with a weapon and you respond, and then you do something to immediately end the fight. That is pretty much what you should do if you ever actually had to defend yourself with a weapon. You're basically never going to be in a situation where somebody who has weapons skills comes and attacks you and then you have a duel with him. I mean, that's not a real scenario in the modern world. So this exercise, it's very useful for improving your ability to get a good parry, get a good attack in the system, and to be comfortable with the weapon. But it doesn't really represent what a real fight with weapons in the modern world is generally going to look like. So you don't spend too much of your training time on this exercise. The combination exercise and the enclose and command exercise are more important. This exercise is fun though. So the idea is that we're each going to have a cudgel, and we're going to just trade attacks and defenses back and forth. And it will have that back and forth rhythm that doubling has. However, at any time that we like, either one of us may suddenly throw in an attack on the traverse, or a feint, or even a command, but most of the time we'll just be attacking back and forth. And it's not a competitive drill. It's really meant to just be a continuous exchange of attack and defense. So before we get into that, I just want to go over what our guards are with the cudgel in the event that you actually need to use a guard. Here's the hanging guard. You'll note that it's a little bit different than the broadsword hanging guard because you're not extended out like that. And the reason is so that the opponent can't just grab your stick and pull you in. So you pull it into more of what's called a prime hanging guard. And we have the left hand up here, like what Sir William Hope shows in his new method, because it's in an excellent position to suddenly go for a command. So here's our hanging guard with the cudgel and any weapon in the cudgel family. Here's our inside guard with the cudgel, and the left hand is up where McBain shows for his inside guard. And here's our outside guard for the cudgel. You might note that your hand is further forward, and therefore you're in more danger of having your fingers hit. So to prevent that from happening, we do what Taylor advises, and you don't hold those guards. You continually switch so that your knuckles are harder to hit. If you want to use the inside or outside guard, you should be constantly changing between inside and outside, or between inside, outside, and hanging. However, if you want to just fight from the hanging guard, that's less necessary because your knuckles are further back. However, you still have to be very aware that the opponent might target them.